formally second it. Motion 71 is from the Sean O'Casey branch. Councillor Emer Malone.
Emer Costello, I changed my name. Emer Costello, North Inner City. I'm a councillor for the North Inner City and currently Deputy Lord Mayor of Dublin. Delegates, I represent the North Inner City, which is, as you've heard already, one of the most disadvantaged areas in the country. But I suppose one of the features of the North Inner City is that it really has been scourged by drugs over the years. And I suppose there's hardly a day goes by when you don't meet people just going about your daily business whose lives have been absolutely devastated and destroyed by drugs. In the North Inner City, we're dealing constantly with people who have lost family members, whose family members suffer serious medical problems as a result of being drug addicts, from amputations to suffering from HIV. The problem is just predominant throughout the whole area. I find too that coming to my clinics, I have many grannies coming because they've lost their children and they're now rearing their grandchildren. It would really, really, really draw blood or a tear from a stone, the stories that you hear in the North Inner City and the devastation that is caused. Now, when the Labour Party was last in government, Pat Rabbitte had the foresight to set up the National Drug Strategy and provided funding for that and for a drug strategy team which has been in place since 1997 and has been doing tremendous work to actually try and combat the scourge of drugs throughout the country. Local drugs task forces were established and they're working with the local communities, and they have what is called a multi-agency approach in the sense that we have, for the first time, we had a coordinated and a holistic approach to trying to tackle drugs. So we had the Guards, we had the HSE, we have the Department of Education, the Department of Justice, the Probation and Welfare Service, we have local community people who are actually affected by what's happening with drugs, and we have their public representatives, and they all come together under various different forms to actually try and deal with the problem. What has happened now is that the government has decided to abolish the National Drug Strategy team, which has been in place since 1997, and bring it back into the department. And can I remind you, delegates, that the minister responsible for this is Minister O'Queeve. So it doesn't, and the National Drug Strategy is going to be brought back in within the Department of Community, Rural and Gaeltacht Affairs. So it's a really very unsatisfactory situation that we have. One of the other initiatives that we had, and Joe Costello was very involved in it, was the initiative on Dial to Stop a Drug Dealer, where a free phone number was made available, and €300,000 has already been invested in putting this service in place in five different locations. That money has now been squandered because the government has decided to cancel the Dial to Stop a Drug Dealer campaign. The free phone number will be gone, and in the meantime the staff from the National Drug Strategy team have been told that they're being made redundant from the 30th of April. Delegates, the drugs problem is one of the most important issues facing the country. I urge you to support this motion and for us to look for money to be invested into the problem of dealing with drugs. Support the motion, please. Thank you.